Hi, this is Dr. Robert Bray again, and how are you feeling today? That's a bad question because now you got to come up with the right word. You got to find that feeling inside, and then you got to think about what the word is that best describes it. And I tell you, most of the time, words really get in your way because it's very difficult to find the right words to describe the depth and the intensity of what we experience inside ourselves. Finding words to say what's happening inside of me are often difficult. And when people ask you in a way that's more serious than just the casual, hi, how are you today? And you start to look inside of there, you find that it's sometimes very difficult. Especially if what you find inside of how you're feeling is just a lot of pain and a lot of fear. And when you get to that point where there's so much of that going on, you really can't think and you can't come up with words. Well, that's the beauty of thought field therapy. When we find ourselves in this place where we feel the distress, we don't have to find the right word. We don't have to find a way to describe it. We just feel it, and then we can begin to tap. And you can just start with a standard crisis tapping pattern. It's often very effective in helping change the intensity, the strength, the pain of what you're feeling. Now, once that comes down, yeah, of course, you can start to think. You can engage your mind in a way that you can strategize, you can plan, you can act in ways that are serving you and the people you care about. But words get in the way all the time. One of the problems is if you use another tapping system called EFT, what you're going to find is that they confuse things a lot by asking you to come up with some affirmation, some set of words that are going to contradict what you're feeling and be able to describe it while you're tapping. At TFT, we don't do that because it's so difficult to come up with the right words when you're in that place. So all you have to do, notice what you're feeling, and if it's overwhelming and you don't feel like you want to get into sharing that with somebody and finding the right words, just start tapping. And I'm going to go through the basic tapping pattern with you, the standard crisis pattern that we use. Because if right now some of this is ringing true to you when I say, what are you feeling? And you go inside and you're having trouble finding the words, it's probably because there's just too much going on inside of there. So tap with me here. Tap the side of your hand and tap under your nose. Tap the beginning of the eyebrow. Tap under the eye. Those of you who know me probably have seen me do this many times, but the reason that we keep going back to this is because it's so effective. Index finger under the collarbone, little finger under the collarbone. And then we do the 9 gamut series, tapping the gamut spot, the spot on the back of your hand between the 2 small knuckles. Just keep tapping there. And then you're going to close your eyes for a moment, open, down left, look down right, whirl your eyes in a big circle all around, whirl all the way around the other way, keep tapping, hum, count 1, 2, 3, 4, hum again, and then we're going to just repeat the pattern we just did. Side of hand, under nose, beginning of the eyebrow, under eye, under arm, under collarbone, index finger, under the collarbone, tiny finger, under the collarbone. Now, you just go back inside and notice what you're feeling again. In most cases, what you're going to find is the intensity of that feeling has diminished. In many cases, what you're going to find, that negative aspect of it, that painful, fearful side of it, will have diminished also. Once that happens, then you can re-engage the rest of your mind and be able to think about, well, where am I today? What do I want to do today? What am I going to do today that's going to improve my life, that's going to improve the lives of the people that I love and care about, bring more joy to myself and to other people? Because that's what we're really about here. Doing thought field therapy is about but eliminating the unnecessary suffering in the world. So all you have to do is tap. You don't have to come up with some explanation of what you're feeling or why you're feeling it or what it's really connected with. All of that stuff has a use in therapy and in recovery, but when you're feeling it in the beginning, you can't really talk about anything. So again, just start tapping. Now, if you're using a tapping system that requires that you use words, it's probably because whoever developed that system left Dr. Callahan's study before he said, we don't need to use the words. The words just get in the way a lot. Asking people to say things that they don't believe, that they don't like, they don't want, it just complicates things very much. So when I first learned it from Dr. Callahan, over 22 years ago, we used words. We used positive affirmations to correct for reversals. We used words to help focus the thought while we were tapping. But very shortly after I learned it, Dr. Callahan called up and said, you know, we're complicating it. Just do the tapping. That's what works. It's not the words. So if you're working with a system of tapping that still uses words and affirmations and things like that, it just means that they stopped studying it with Dr. Callahan a long time ago and are taking, if it works for you, do it. But if it gets in your way, if the words are too much of a problem, then don't bother with them. Try the TFT algorithm for crisis intervention, the one I just showed you. And if you want to know more about it, just go to my website, rlbray.com. There's more information there. If you're really interested, you can take a workshop and we'll explain how he developed these things, and we'll give you a whole series of different tapping patterns that you can use. Again, you don't have to use the words. If you really want to know, and this is the fascinating stuff, if you really want to know how this works and how you can get away without words, take an intermediate thought field therapy class. Because if you do that, you'll learn what Dr. Callahan learned over 30 years ago, which is how to use kinesiology muscle testing to communicate with the bottom of the brain, with the body, and to effectively be able to treat anything that's going on without having to make somebody explain to you what it is that they're feeling or what it is they're struggling with or what's going on. The muscle testing stuff is fascinating. We don't teach it in the basic class because as soon as people see it, they lose their minds because it's just amazing to see how it works. But take the class, learn more about it. If you want to really be able to communicate with yourself and with other people at a fundamental level without the words, take the intermediate class and we'll teach you how to do that. So anyway, I'm always excited when I talk about this stuff, and because you can be better. And you don't have to spend a lot of time and energy figuring out in your head what's going on with you to be able to be better. So words are getting in the way. Don't let them get in the way. Start tapping and let us know if there's something else that would be helpful or useful. I'm always available to you. So good luck. Go try some tapping. Bye-bye.